Good afternoon and welcome to 28storms.com/cyclone on this 1st of November. This is of course the very first cyclone update from 28storms.com on this brand new cyclone season that just initiated near Australia. Of course you may know 28storms.com through our extensive coverage of Atlantic and Eastern Pacific hurricanes and also some of the Cyclone Yazi coverage that we initiated roughly about 9 months ago. This time around, we're looking forward to covering the cyclone season extensively from start to finish, so let's get right on into it. If we go ahead and take our first look at the Southern Pacific satellite and surrounding adjacent waters of Australia, we can see that there really isn't much in the way of any intense convection. If anything, we have some convection impacting portions of Western Australia, but if we turn on the latest water vapor, you can easily make out that this is non-tropical in nature. In fact, much of this convection is being enhanced by an upper level low. As to be expected for this early on in the season, much of the deep tropical waters surrounding the continent are facing very hostile upper level winds. We can see this as denoted by some of the darker orange and red colors, and that is where we are seeing the strongest vertical wind shear at this time. And of course, tropical cyclones need very light vertical wind shear in order for any type of development to occur. Another parameter that will be interesting to monitor as we advance deeper into the cyclone season will of course be the sea surface temperatures. And the sea surface temperatures across much of northern Australia are just now becoming conducive for some tropical development, and still portions of the cyclone development region are still warming up. We're still seeing areas below the 26 degrees Celsius threshold for tropical cyclogenesis, and the same can be said along the west coast of Australia. The gradual warming of water temperatures surrounding Australia does appear to be on schedule for this time of the year. In fact, if anything, they may be slightly ahead of schedule. This map is showing the sea surface temperatures and the associated anomalies, and so therefore the water temperatures are running average to near slightly above average so far as we start the month of November. Looking ahead over the next 7 to 10 days, beginning with the 12Z run of the ECMWF model, and luckily the European is really not showing much in the way of any organized areas of low pressure worth monitoring anytime in the near future. And finally, the 0Z run of the GFS is also keeping the tropics fairly status quo, with not much overly significant showing up in the next 6 to 7 day period. So thankfully it looks as though the first week of cyclone season will be relatively inactive near Australia, but one interesting feature of note may be this tropical system located over the northern Indian Ocean. In fact, this is being designated 95A Invest, simply meaning that the U.S. Joint Typhoon Warning Center is closely monitoring this system located just off the coast of Oman for any sign of tropical cyclone development. As of right now, it actually seems to be just below tropical depression status. It's being initialized with 25 knots sustained winds with a minimum central pressure of 1004 millibars. The most recent microwave satellite pass of this system, taken several hours ago, indicated that the low pressure area did not have a well-defined center just yet, although it still appears to have roughly 24 to 48 additional hours over water to possibly get its act together and become a classified tropical cyclone. In terms of the upper level environment, we do see that there is a narrow pocket of favorable upper level ridging located just off the Arabian Peninsula, and you can see it a little bit better here denoted by those dark blue colors. All that being said, I would not be surprised to see if we did see a minimal tropical cyclone classification, and this is the latest ECMWF model forecast. You can quite clearly see the area of low pressure just off the coastline, and as stated before, it still has roughly 24 to 48 hours to remain just off the coastline before pressing inland as a minimal tropical system, providing the area with some rainfall. And before we wrap up the first video of the season, if you found our video through a secondary source, I would just like to remind you once more that if you visit 28storms.com/cyclone, you will find all of the most recent available information both on the left and right side of the page, and in the middle that is where you will find all of the exclusive 28storms.com videos and discussions regarding tropical weather around Australia. So today's video was just a glimpse of what you may anticipate for the remainder of cyclone season. And of course, as the activity begins to ramp up, the videos will become more extensive with a lot more in-depth information being covered. Anyways, thanks again for visiting 28storms.com. Please expect another video by sometime tomorrow afternoon.